The seven seals. There were seven, scattered like sparks of divine will across the world, each bearing one of the artifacts of the apocalypse. These relics were no simple treasures. They were the seals, seven bindings forged by gods to keep the end of all things chained. If they broke, the abyss would spill forth and creation would collapse into endless night. The seven chosen were warriors, mystics, and outcasts. Bound by fate, they marched together through war and ruin, hunted by demons who sought to claim the seals for their master, and among them stood their leader, a paladin of unbreakable faith and scarred honor. Dare Connell. His voice steadied the weary. His sword burned with light, and his wife was the anchor that kept his soul from the void. One fateful night, the demons came in swarms, a black tide rushing against their circle of fire. Wings blotted the stars, claws clattered over stone, and the air stank of brimstone and rot. Seven fought as one. A mage rained fire across the tree line. A huntress arrows cut down fiends before they closed in. Dare himself strode in the front, his blade shining like a dawn that never came. By morning, the earth was carpeted in ash and ichor, and the chosen stood bloodied but victorious. They believed for one fragile breath that they had bought peace. But at dawn, Dare's world shattered. His wife, Ithne, had been taken while the battle raged. No one had seen her seize, no one had heard her cries. With two companions, Ronan, the grim axeman, and Maelis, a young healer, Dare tracked the demons into the woods. They found her bound upon a crude altar, pale and still, her chest pierced by a spear of obsidian. Dare dropped to his knees, tears streaked through the grim upon his face. His wife's body was empty of breath, yet he clung to her hand as though he could summon warmth back into her flesh. That was when the forest fell silent, the air curdled, and the shadows lengthened into talons. From the black mist strode Lucifer, the morning star fallen into ruin, his wings stretched wide, feathers dripping ash. His gaze burned like molten gold, and his smile was colder than winter. Her soul drifts between realms, Paladin, he purred. She stands on the edge of hellfire, but I will give her back to you. All it will cost is the seals. Deliver them, every one, or her soul is cast forever into the deepest pit. Grief drowned Dare's faith. He swore the vow. Days turned to weeks, and one by one, Dare claimed the seals. His companions watched him change. His prayers grew hollow, his eyes sunken, his voice more desperate than resolute. He would vanish for hours in the night, returning with blood on his armor, whispering that another seal had been secured. When at last he stood before Lucifer, all seven lay upon the earth. His sword dripped with fresh blood. The two who had followed him into the end, Ronan and Maelis, looked upon him with horror, for they could not believe so much could be spilled without betrayal. Do not do this, Maelis begged. The seals are the world's last hope. Dare did not answer. With trembling hands, he hurled them before the demon king. Lucifer laughed, a sound that shook the trees bare. He broke the seals one by one, six shattering in a storm of light and unholy fire. Yet when he stroked the seventh, nothing stirred. The seal was false, a cunning counterfeit. Lucifer's smile twisted to rage. With a sweep of his hand, he slew Ronan and Maelis where they stood, their blood steaming upon the earth. Dare was left alone, surrounded as the forest floor erupted with demon spawn. Claws tore at him, blades bit into his flesh. Yet he stood as a wall of steel and fury. He roared, he bled, he carved a circle of corpses around himself. But numbers cannot be denied. They dragged him down, tearing his armor, rending his flesh until he knelt in ruin. Lucifer approached, calm now, his rage coiled tight like a serpent. The last seal, where is it? Dare spat blood and smiled through broken teeth. You will never touch it. The others carry it far from here. Lucifer's face darkened. He pressed a claw hand into the paladin's chest, and a storm of black fire surged into him. The light of Dare's soul guttered. His body convulsed, his screams echoing into the unseen heavens. His faith shattered, his heart blackened. Chains of shadow coiled around him, dragging him toward the pit, yawning open at Lucifer's feet. And as the abyss swallowed him whole, Dare lifted his head. His face was pale and ruined, but his lips curled into a terrible, knowing smile. I am coming. The end.